Hello Midori Nuts, and welcome to my YouTube talking about the Raydori. For those of you who follow me on my YouTube channel know that I've been promising to do a review of the Raydori I received a few months back. I do apologise, it's been quite some time, but I'm hoping to start catching up with my videos now. So today it'll be a quick walkthrough and talk about the Raydori I received and just tell you how I've started using it and show you some of the inserts that I've got in there. So first of all, if I start with the cover itself, Ray sent me this Raydori. I would call it a sort of an oxblood or probably a plum colour. It's this lovely pull-up style leather, so you can see, I don't know if yes, you can pick it up. There's some lovely marks and patina starting on there as I've been using the notebook. It's a lovely soft leather. It's probably softer or more flexible than the leather on the Midoris that I've got, but it isn't floppy. It does retain its shape, and it covers the inserts very well, and I really do like it. One of the things Ray has done is that you might be able to see the elastic band goes horizontally rather than vertically, and this is because Ray made this book into a two-band book, which means I can get more booklets into here. And what Ray does as well is that the actual cover he cuts slightly wider, so as you stuff it full of books, the cover still covers the inserts quite neatly. What you find with, or what I find with the Midori, is that if I put more than sort of 3 or 4 books in there, it still looks quite sturdy, but the cover, because it's shorter, it gets pulled back and the edges of the books are shown. I don't personally mind that, but I know some people like to make sure that their inserts are fully covered and protected by the leather covering. The other thing, whether you can pick it up here, the elastic band is secured in the spine and not on the back cover. Again, I don't really mind it being in the back cover, but I know a few people have said, especially if they're using inserts or writing on inserts which are near the rear of the book, the knot in the middle would probably be a little bit awkward, or cause you to sort of have a lump where you would write. I haven't had that problem because I haven't got that far back into any of my books yet, but I don't mind either. I quite like the knot in the back. A lot of the notebooks I make myself, I by default put the knot in the back unless someone specifies them to be in the spine. The other thing is, because Ray has made this into a two-band notebook, he put 2 bookmarks on here. I don't know if you can pick them up. And all I've done is I've actually put, they're not charms, they're like beads with alphabets on, and I've got a V and an M, my initials, and put them on. I just like to put a little, maybe not a charm, but a bead or something at the end of these bookmarks, and I feel that it just that little bit of weight just keeps them down. But other than that, you know, I haven't done anything else to this book apart from obviously put the inserts in. Ray did send me some inserts with these, by the way. He sent me a bullet journal, which I'm using in my other Midori, and a monthly planner, which again I've saved, and it's because I'm trying to do look at chronograph and spirograph and all different ways of planning, and the month planner booklets I've kept as well, because I think that there's something that will probably work for me really well. But we'll probably cover them off in a different review. So the other thing about this notebook, what I've decided is, because this is a handcrafted notebook, I wasn't going to put any pre-made inserts like the Midori books, which I've got a few of. This is one of the lined notebooks from Raydori, which is lovely. Nor was I going to put the zipper case in there, the plastic cases or anything like that. I wanted this to have everything handmade in there. So the notebooks I'm going to show you are handmade by me, although I've got some of the printables off the Etsy store, or I've made one of the printables which are in here as well. So the first booklet in here is my vlog record, or my log. So this is where I plan the vlogs, and in fact this is if I just show you one of those, It's an insert by Rogue Crusade. I think I've talked about Rogue Crusade in one of my earlier videos. I'll put a link to her Etsy store down below, but you can download lots of lovely inserts for Filofaxes and for Midori Traveller's Notebooks. The Traveller's Notebook ones are called Skinny Jane, if I remember correctly. And there's planners, there's to-do lists, there's this sort of vlog planner, and then there's also grid and line notebooks, which I've also got in here. But they're ideal. So you download them once, and then you can print them and create your own inserts. So although this is named as a blog planner, I thought it'd be ideal for planning the vlogs. I am still trying to do a blog, but still haven't got around to setting it up. So what would normally happen in my passport size Midori, because that would be with me majority of the time, ideas would be jotted down in there of things that I wanted to talk about in the vlog, or anything significant that needs to be mentioned, and then every now and then I would actually transpose all that back into here and write all the bullet points, and maybe things like what social networks I need to share this information on. So that's the first insert. The second one is another Skinny Jane one. This is the grid and line one. I quite like it, but it's quite stylized, so you don't get that much space. So what I thought I would use this for is each individual page would be ideal for photography planning, and I haven't got anything in there at the moment. The idea was that when I'm sort of planning to go out and do a photo shoot, I would write some notes about camera settings, the location, what equipment I'd need to take with me. So I would have a series of these set up, and when the opportunity strikes that I'm going to do a particular type of photography, I've actually got a checklist and some information of what I'm going to do. But I've not been out to do photography recently for various reasons, so that's empty. Plus I've got an idea for a different insert for photography, which I'll talk about as we go further into this book. So that was what that's for. Unfortunately, that's empty at the moment. The next part of the notebook that we see is a craft folder. Now this craft folder Vina made for me, because I said I needed something with pockets in here, and what I've got in this first pocket here is those of you who've received a Raydori know that Ray puts this lovely little compliments card in there, and I thought it'd be ideal to keep it in this notebook, and it's got a little message on the back to Vina and I, so I thought it'd be nice just to keep that. Also, this is, and I haven't got anything in here yet, but it's got a long folder, and I think this is similar to, it's not quite the same insert as the YouTube video some of you have seen, but Vina sort of used several ideas to make this, and there's a long insert here to put folded A4 sheets or a letter or some notes in there, and a smaller one just to put either you can put business cards in there, or other little notes in there for safekeeping. So one thing I wanted was that I wanted a notepad where I can easily rip out paper. So if I've made lists in here, so this list is just some things because I'm getting into fountain pens and EDC and things like that. They're just things that I need to go and investigate or look at more, things I'm really interested in. But it's not necessarily something I want to keep in the notebook at the moment because it's not finalised. So what she's actually done is that she's made this little notebook or notepad, fixed it onto the craft folder here, and then it's perforated, so these sheets can be ripped off, and then I can carry them around or dispose of them if I don't need them anymore. And then underneath another secretarial folder that I can keep, and I've kept some business cards of some people that I need to contact. Okay, so this craft folder wraps around the last book in here, and the last book I've named Ideas, and these are just things that I'm thinking of, and it's normally to do with Midoris or photography, or even now with fountain pens. So what I've done, and you might be able to pick it up, it's grid and line paper, and I actually created this insert. As I mentioned, that other insert's lovely, very stylized, but because of the regular size Midori inserts, they're quite narrow. If you lose that sort of edge, it's quite significant. So I've created an insert, and I will be posting it on the Facebook group for anyone to download and print. But it's a very simple grid and line insert that you can print double-sided, make your own books, and it maximizes the paper. So when you cut it, it's right to the edge. So I've been using this as my first, and I mentioned about the photography idea. I'm actually mapping out here a template for planning my photography and also recording my photography. So these are just ideas in here of what I need to capture, how I would lay it out. So this is my first point, and I start on here, and then I'll move on to maybe a desktop publishing package to lay it out when I get time. One of the planners that I have been working on recently, and apologies for you guys who have been waiting, who've said they're happy to test it out for me, is a health journal. I initially started doing a health journal, a very simplistic one, and it was really just about tracking food or your meals. And after speaking to several people on the Facebook group who are interested in this, it's not just about tracking food or your sort of water intake weekly. It's the whole your activity, your measurements, your goals. So I've split this down into the areas of the information I've had, and I am working on it. So guys, I will be in touch soon as I've made some progress. But that's another insert. And then one that I have completed and I can make available, but I'm just using it, or my wife's just using it, is an expense tracker. She wanted a very simple booklet that we can keep in a Midori, because like me, she uses one for work as well. So it just has some basic information, so all the expenses for work really are recorded in there. And you could use this same tracker to record personal household expenses if you want. If there's any interest, please leave some comments on the Facebook group. I'll put the link to the Facebook group, or the name of the Facebook group, down below. Midori Travellers Notebooks Resources. So do pop along, and if you're interested, leave a message. If I pick it up and there's enough interest, I'll post it. So that was the ideas booklet. Again, I made that myself, and then this is the back end of the craft folder. So again, what Vina's done is put another notepad, which I haven't started on, another secretarial folder, and then at the back here, it's a similar to the front part. There's a long insert, or a long opening here, secretarial folder, but she's made this sort of pull-out piece with a an acetate cover there, so I can put notes. These particular notes could actually be saved in there, and what I've done is there's one here for all the different sizes of notebook for leather cutting. For when I make my notebooks, I've actually put that in the back, so it's just an easy reference for me. One thing you'll notice at the back is a pen loop. Now, I followed Kate Bernasconi's video. I think I showed you a couple of the pen loops I'd made for Vina and myself previously, and this is just thanks to Glenda Slan for letting us use the idea to make our own personal pen loops. And what I've got in here is a Coletto 5 insert pen. One of them's a pencil, then I've got 5 gel pens in there. And rather than a fountain pen in here, like you may have seen on my other Midoris, I carry a TWSBI Mini and a Pilot Vanishing Point, or Pilot Capitalist as it is in the UK. I put a Coletto because it's ideal because of the different colours in there. When you're trying to brainstorm ideas or jot things down, it's ideal to have one pen with a couple of different colours, and you can just get on with making your notes and highlighting things and making things prominent. So that's why I've got a Coletto on there in the pen loop, so that's really cool. So that's it for the Raydori. That's what I'm using it for, ideas and creative things. Probably not creative in the same way as some of you guys on the Facebook group. You've just got some amazing creative ideas, whether it's drawing, painting, or even writing. You know, it is amazing. But I enjoy doing the videos. I enjoy maybe looking at how I can make inserts or make new notebooks. So that's what I use mine for. So Ray, thanks very much, and thanks everyone. If you do like this video, please like, subscribe and comment, and see you soon.